Sorry, the video stopped. I had something pop up. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you want to have access to the plug. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug it for 2 seconds, plug it in for 10 seconds, unplug it for 2 seconds. When we plug it back in, you're going to hear the shade jog. That basically means you got your timing correct. And then at that point, you want to press the button on the back of the remote and keep holding it for 2 jogs. The first one is going to happen rather quickly. The second one will happen about anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds later. It seems like an eternity, but you have to keep pressing and hold it for the second jog. That means you cleared the motor out and you can start programming fresh all over again. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to unplug. I'm just going to go through the timing. 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1001, 1002. See, you heard it move. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the remote and we're going to press and hold. First jog, keep holding it. Second jog. Now, at any time, press up or down by itself. You'll see it's on channel 1 still, but it's not operating. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to program this to my toolbox remote that we were talking about. So remember, it's on channel 1. Press up and down arrows. This is what you would do if you normally get a shade brand new out of the box. Press up and down. You'll hear it jog. Okay, what you did is you synced your remote to the shade now, or paired it together. So at this point, you want to check direction. So I'm pressing the down button. The shade is coming down. We're in the correct direction. So what we want to do now is we want to go up close to the top. And when I say close to the top, setting your first limits, I don't like it to be completely up against the ceiling because I want it to have enough room to be sloped or whatever and not hit the housing, because then you have to clear the motor out and start all over again. Because once you get to a limit, Somfy motors, you have to get to the limit to be able to adjust it. But if you set it too high and your fabric recenters on the tube and it goes higher than what it was when you set it, you can't get to that limit to clear it out. I hope this makes sense. So at this point right now is, you'll see it's setting. What we're going to do now is we are going to, hold on, I'm trying to position this. We're going to set the upper limit. So by pressing the my and the down at the same time, you'll hear the motor start moving. Okay, it's moving. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to let it come all the way down. You have to use the my button to stop it when it gets close to the floor. Now, at any time, if you were to stop this, like I did just there by pressing the my button, you can still adjust it. Okay. Oh, it's hitting some shoes. I forgot to move out of the way. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to set the lower limit. So by setting the lower limit, hold on, let me get this camera positioned correctly. We're going to press the my and the up button. It's going to start moving up. Now at this point, I'm going to teach you a trick. You don't have to let it roll all the way up. I stopped it right after it set the lower limit. Now press and hold the my button. It's going to jog. So what you did is you saved the limits in there without having the shade go all the way back up. Now what you're going to do is to get out of programming mode and go into user mode or normal operation, which you would give it to the homeowner. Press and hold the button on the back. Okay, it jogged. So now you're out of programming mode. The easiest thing to know when you are in normal operation mode is if you press the button at any time down, it moves freely. It doesn't go in small increments. So at this point, what we're going to do is let's go all the way back up. Check and make sure it's going good. The only reason why I said to use that trick is because if you're in an area where it's extremely hot, the sun is beating on you, you have a dark fabric, dark housing, that motor has a thermal overload built into it where it will cut off when it gets too hot. Well, if you're letting a big shade, tall shade, run up and down a bunch of times, it's going to go into thermal when you're trying to set limits. Another thing also is if you Maestria motor, okay, the Maestria motor has obstacle detection built into it. That basically means if it hits something, it's going to bounce back up to let you know something's in the way. Now, the only thing with the Maestria motor is you need to be able to finish the programming before you can clear a motor out for any reason. So if you can't remember what you did or whatever, just press the button on the back of the remote, let it finish programming, and that will allow you to clear the motor out. And this is a tech tip that all installers should know. I didn't believe it. It took me a couple of years of arguing with Joe before I realized that he was actually correct. And it's not something that they necessarily teach in programming if you go to any of the programming classes for Somfy. It's just something that we teach, or I like to bring out about. Okay, so let's say we want to adjust a limit. Okay, it stopped on its own freely. So at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to press the up and down arrows. I know I'm doing a lot of moving around. Hold on. You have to press the up and down arrows at the same time. You'll hear the motor jog. Keep holding it. Hold on. Okay, it jogged. Now at this point, you can bump it up. I don't like to set mine to where it hits the housing, but it's a little unlevel because my patio's a little unlevel. So now at this point, to save that new setting, all you do is press and hold the My button again. It jogs, and it actually saved that setting in. So now at this point, what we're going to do also is, let's copy and paste. Okay, so this is my toolbox remote. It's on channel 10. We want to put it back on, what did I do with the other remote? Oh, it's on the ground. Hold on, everybody. Oh, okay. So, also, we had it originally on channel 1. There's nothing on channel 1 here right now. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to copy it from our toolbox remote to our handheld remote that we're going to be giving to the homeowner. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure we're on the correct channel. Okay, I press the button, it's moving. We're going to press the button on the back. It jogged. What we're going to do is go to the channel you want it on the new remote. It's channel 1. We're going to press the button on the back. The shade is going to jog. So now at this point, you have it on 2 remotes. That's 2 channels out of the motor as well. But so let's say we want to put it on an all channel now. At this point, I don't think I have anything on my all channel. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to channel 1 first. So what we're going to do is copy and paste from one channel to another on the same remote. So operate the shade, make sure you're correct. Press the button on the back of the remote again. It's going to jog. Now what you're going to do is go to the all channel. Press the button on the back of the remote again. It jogged. So now we have it on channel 5, which is the all channel, and channel 1. Now, just think maybe you put it on the wrong channel and you want to remove it and put it on another channel. So first off, you go to the first channel you like where it's at. Okay? So, and this is why it helps to have the toolbox remote, because then you can do all of this. Okay, so at this point, we want to take it off of channel 5. You're going to go back to the channel it was on, channel 1. Okay, the shade just jogged. We're going to go back to channel 5. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to press the button on the back of the remote again. Okay, so now on channel 5, the shade is not working. So it's an add and subtract, copy and paste feature, but if you copy it back to a channel it's already on, it's going to delete it off of there. So hopefully, okay, let me go back to channel 1 again. And what we're going to do is the shade is actually moving up again. Now, anytime you clear a motor out, anything that was saved in that motor that means if you clear a motor out back to factory default with the 210.2, double cut is another name that they call, it will delete anything that's in there. So this is why a toolbox remote is so helpful, because it's very easily, if you've already set it up to a Tahoma, some kind of hub, or hooked it up to their home automation system, you don't want to clear anything out, because that means you have to have everything reset through the whole system of anything you had in it, wind sensors, sun sensors, anything that you put into it, you have to put back into that motor. So please be aware, and this is why the toolbox remote, Chris taught me years ago, was such a good thing when I was doing interior shades, and then I started using it in the exterior world as well. So about earlier was, you see how this knob, it always flops around? The Situo remote is more of a tab that sticks out, so that this doesn't move around, and all you do is pull it on and off. See, it's just a knob. That's why the Situo remote was a new one that came out, because so many people complained the rocking around of the, what would you call it? The remote rocking around. But let me have my movie screen out here. And then if you look across the property, you will see a big gray shade on the front side of the RV cover out there. That's about 20 feet wide, it's about 11 foot tall. And it's mounted up there at the top as a center support in the center that mounts to the structure, and then either end. Now that shade does not have any deflection because I supported the housing up there at that point. So it rolls up and down beautifully. It's a little far of a distance for the remote to work. I just have it when my mom or my brother come out here and stay in the RV, I go over close, or I put the remote in there for them to use. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and cancel out or stop Tommy time for today. I've got to head to the airport. I'm going out to see a client in Georgia to help them with a project that they have having a few issues with. We're just going to go out there. I'm going to see some dealers while I'm out there as well. All right, everybody, have a great day.